Hi guys, Jamie and Simon here, back again at One Day Web Ground Control. I'm here to help you with some insights and some information really about some challenges, various challenges that we face working in the web development, web design and creative industry. So today we've got Simon back on the mic this
Hello.
time. MC Langham in the house. He's going to be talking today about templated website systems versus custom coded, I believe. Is
Yes.
that right? And about the differences and about the pros and cons and you know, maybe just giving you some information if you're kind of thinking about having a website done. You know, should it be built from the ground up? Should you use a template? Should you do whatever? I think I generally know what the answer is going to be. I haven't worked with Simon for the last 18 months, but I'm going to hand over to Simon now and he's going to give you some more information about that.
Yes, I mean, I could add another one in that one.
Oh.
The DIY drag and drop solution.
Oh
which will
yeah,
have
I've never
don't
done that before. No, never.
which will have a very brief introduction.
I've never used Moonfruit or Squarespace. Other platforms are available, which you shouldn't probably use.
Well, Wix is usually the one that most people talk about, and these platforms do have their place. And
Sure.
I don't want to criticise them because they are very useful, particularly for hobbyists. They want to have a play, they want to get something up. They're not technically minded. They're great for that, but there are limitations. I kind of take the approach though, like if you're running a business, you wouldn't, you know your business and you want to do your business well. There are certain things that I think you need to concentrate on what it is that your business is best at, and if you try to do what you basically see on a lot of occasions are people like plumbers or electricians doing it. Their trade is so vastly different that how can they ever produce something that could represent their brand?
Okay, yeah.
Clearly.
So you mean that what you're saying is they should concentrate on plumbing and electricianing, and actually really they should leave the website to
because I bet
else.
they go into houses sometimes and go, oh my god, why did they wire that up like that?
Yeah,
they're not
okay.
electricians.
How
could they know what they're doing?
Yeah.
And to me, that's when you get these DIY platforms. That's essentially what you're kind of doing. And I don't, you know, it's they've got their place and they're great, but there are. I always liken it. The more functionality you give the client that has no coding experience, the slower and the more code and bloat you have to put behind the system. The more you take away from the client, the more streamlined it is. So my website, for example, is extremely fast because I can edit the content from code level. I don't need a content management system necessarily. But that's not, you know, of course, customers want to log in, they need a content management system, of course you do. But on the other extreme of that is the drag and drop facility. It just adds a huge level of complexity when the customer wants to log in and move an image. The code behind that has to look for all different variants. So you're probably adding 20 lines of code to what could be done in one line of code.
Which slows the website down.
Yeah. And also with these, we were actually putting in quite a lot of time for these ones because actually most of this I want to talk about templated versus custom coded. But on these drag and drop DIY solutions, it's JavaScript heavy. It's not HTML.
For those that don't know, what's JavaScript? What's the difference?
So, I mean, every website uses HTML. Every website. And HTML is a markup. It's kind of something that's saying this text is bold. Place it to the left. Make it larger.
Sure.
And there's styling sheets and all sorts. What JavaScript is a client-side script. So so a load of text comes down to your computer, and the browser has to use Java or JavaScript, not Java, they are completely separate. So JavaScript to render the page and the content into its HTML form.
Okay.
So it's kind of adding another level onto the website. So when you you can go on any web page, you can in your browser right click and click on the page view. And you'll see that some of the best websites, you can read certain elements of it. Yes, it's code, but it's kind of human readable. And you, with semantic coding, I know I'm using buzzwords here and words that are complicated, but Google can pick up and read these very easily. So it'll appreciate a website that has easy to understand and easy to read language. Because coding is just language at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Whereas when you're using JavaScript, you're adding all sorts of levels of complexity. Whereas Google kind of say, I'm not, if you're gonna make it difficult for me to understand, then why should I rank you higher than someone's website? So generally, if you were to search for an electrician in your local area, I can pretty much guarantee you will never see a Wix website near the top. There are some people, of course, I always put this out and say, don't use a DIY website platform. And people say, well, I've got one, it works really well for me. Most of the people that say that are in a very niche sector. their competitors are probably using the same platforms as well, and so which is what, say, for hobbyists, that's great. It's fine, it works. But if you're serious about your business, it isn't going to work.
Invest some money and time and invest properly in it, as you would with anything, right?
Exactly. Yeah,
you wouldn't represent yourself in court. You'd pay for the best solicitor or lawyer that you could
Absolutely.
to represent the case for you, right?
Definitely. So it's just that scenario. You're not saving time, and also because we already are giving a lot of time for DIY websites. But when you want to move and progress, when your business does grow and wants to move, when you try to transfer content from a drag and drop type website, it's very difficult. Probably moving on from there, so we've all learned the lesson on that one, and why we think that.
And admittedly, mate, I am going to put my hand up here and say that when I first started out 6 years ago, I was using these pre-built drag and drop because I thought, well, do you know what? I don't see the reason why. At the time, I thought I'm just going to do it myself. Why should I pay anybody to go and do it?
They've got fantastic advertising. It's low cost. It's just, I think, understanding before you go into it and thinking about where you're going to be in 2, 3, 5 years' time. And just having that understanding a little bit more, and it can be daunting.
But I didn't know any better.
No, absolutely.
That's the problem. So a lot of this is about education, right? It's actually getting to people and making them understand that you are better off doing it once, doing it right, rather than having to go through that painful process.
And it's up to us developers, and it's very difficult because we're the sorts that like to sit behind keyboards and just type away and ignore that the world exists out there. But it is up to us to communicate the benefits of a well-structured, code-compliant, fast-loading website. Because when you go on Google and you put in a standard search, it's the fast-loading, code-compliant, well-structured websites that rank above the drag-and-drop, do-it-yourself websites. And people, I mean, you have this with content, stock photos versus your created. It's not to say there isn't a place for stock photos. Of course there is, and well-used stock photos are fantastic. But people can spot stock photos.
Yes.
They can.
The highly glossy, lifestyle polished look of stock photography.
Absolutely.
You can read that stuff a mile off, and you are better off investing a few £100 to get a professional photographer to actually come and get you the images that represent your brand in the best way.
Absolutely.
Right? Which is what you're saying.
And it's exactly the same for the sort of sites. You can go. Most people can go on a website and instantly spot a DIY website over a very well structured, and there's really good advertising for that. God, I mean, how far are we in? We're quite some way in, and we've talked about that. So I mean, briefly coming, it's kind of swapping around the other way actually to templated versus custom coded. And what's really important, I'm a developer, and I mean, this is another podcast, the difference between a web designer and a web developer. I'm
not going to get you started on that now.
No. I got into the industry being a back-end PHP developer, and then I've advanced my skills now to being a front-end HTML CSS developer. So I understand the code, I understand that everything behind it, and I can build a website within a day because I understand the code that's behind it. And the reason that I like and advocate custom code for a day, and the only way we can build a website in a day to what we do is because it's custom coded.
Because it actually takes longer, right, to strip apart
a
template to try and awkwardly make it work for you.
Absolutely. The only way you can build a template website in a day is if the client and you agree that template will fit all the scenarios.
Which is highly unlikely. Yeah.
So you're best starting with a blank canvas and trying to build something that you can build and adapt on later. I mean, templates are great, and I would advocate those who are choosing, that please don't go for, if you're serious about your business, please choose a WordPress templated website over a Wix website. There are key benefits, but if you really want to advance your business further, then custom coded is the way to go, because it's a website built specifically for you and your business. Your business is not a template. You didn't go down to the hardware shop, buy a template and build your business. You've built it because it's unique.
Yeah.
So you need a website that is unique with your business. So why would you grab a template that everybody else has got? A visitor is on your website to get an answer to their problem. They're not on your website to see your holiday pictures, a slideshow,
fancy GIFs,
flashing images. I mean, animations is a thing, parallax is one. I mean, not to say they're great, they're lovely. You go to some websites, they look fantastic, but they're overused sometimes because the visitor does not care that your button zooms in from the left. They care that you're going to fix the problem that they've got onto the website.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
I don't need a template to create all that bloat, because that's what it is. It's bloat. It's additional code that's may not be necessary to the journey, that slows down the website and hinders its ability to improve on Google. I really like websites that get to the message, they stand out, it's high impact, but high performance, high impact, high performance gives you high conversion.
And custom coded is the best way.
And I could only ever do that with custom coded. We use a system called Modex because it gives us the freedom and ability to create custom code. Others are great. I'm not knocking WordPress at all. I think it's a very good platform, but we couldn't build a website in a day with WordPress because it's not the right system for that.
I was just going to say, so I know we're running over slightly on time, but there's going to be a burning question from a lot of people.
It's got to be WordPress.
That, you and I actually get this question a lot. Looking for a new website, must be WordPress. Must be. Why do you think that is?
Because it's very, very, very popular. Everybody talks about it in business. It was set up as a blogging platform, and most people would like to get into blogging and express their feelings. So it just became an extremely powerful platform very quickly. And when you talk to, in a room of business owners, what platform do you use? 90% of the room will put their hand up and say WordPress. It's deemed as user-friendly. I would say it is user-friendly. I'm not disputing that. I think other systems are far worse, but give others a try. Modex is extremely user-friendly. Sometimes we're fearful of the unknown. Talked about fear in the last one. We don't understand and we haven't heard of something, we think that it can't be right. Designers promote WordPress, and that's not a bad thing, but it's just understanding what do you want.
Looking at the end goal, right, which we talked about in the last episode, is looking at the end goal, work backwards from that, what's the best platform to ensure that your goal is met with the through the needs of the website.
And the best mix to me is the designer designs, the developer develops, and the business owner runs their business.
Nice. Yeah, absolutely, 100% agree.
Yeah.
100% agree. Simon, that was awesome, mate. Well, thanks for clearing that up a little bit. I think there'll be a lot of people listening that probably did have a few questions. I think you've probably answered some questions out there. So thanks for listening, guys. Next episode, we're in the last part of this 4-part to do with kind of content and challenges and web challenges that we've come across in One Day Web. This is the One Day Web Ground Control podcast. Next time it's going to be me talking about different content types. So we're going to be looking at
video.
That's it.
Photography.
Various types of video. Well done, mate. Gold star. Gold star for Simon there. It's only taken him a year, bless him, to learn what the 2 different
What's
types.
that written thing? Is that copy?
Words, mate.
Words.
That's it. English. You'll get there. It's fine. Back to school. So we'll be talking about the different content types, different types of video, different types of photography that you might want to start thinking about to best promote your business. So we will catch you next time.
Yeah, cool. Cheers.